card which no longer exists, so...
Alright, let's see. Alright, did you cut my deck?
Yes.
Okay. Pretty sure I cut yours. No, I definitely cut it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Alright, initial hand, Will Darnelli, Catajack, Nightmare Star, Limestone Pie, a POW, and an Under Arrest. That's not too bad.
So you guys ready to start?
Yeah.
The Woe There Nelly especially is going to be relevant in this matchup, I feel.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. There's only 3 belly flops, and I don't think he's running Food Fight. How much other hard removal is actually present in Curtis's deck?
Does he not have Food Fights?
I don't believe he's running Food Fight.
Probably not going to... Oh my god, that was a terrible draw.
So you're mulliganing too?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so R decides he doesn't want that. Maybe
looking
wants
at
to
the
find a
top few
troublemaker
cards,
other than Nightmare Star,
Grandpas.
so he can actually
Deal
rely
with
on
it.
Carbo Loaders. He did seem to
Right.
be mentioning how he was banking on those in a couple games earlier today.
No, but later he'll give me crap about looking at the top few
I know
cards.
who Grandpa is.
I am going to give you crap about it right now, Arcat.
Sounds like no Food Fights.
Sitting there.
Yeah, my argument for not looking at the top cards of your deck after you decide to mulligan is you will only encourage yourself to make bad decisions in the future because occasionally you'll see a draw that would have been okay. But most of the time, if you have a bad hand, you should just toss it away, regardless of what's coming up. Because you have no way of knowing. So, looking at the top cards as you mulligan only encourages bad play decisions in the future.
Alright, let's see what we got here.
Okay, this is interesting. There's a Popping Corn, Bailout, Under Arrest, looks like a Farm Form Error in his hand. That's a pretty strong start. Clipped Wings as well, and a Xerox.
Get 2. Your turn.
It's not
So
bad.
he's holding on to 2. So do we have the Angel Wings Jerkface play? It won't score him a point, but draining that 2 AT is pretty huge.
Yes, it is. We've got a Spitfire in hand for sure. Maybe a Wonderful Trap, at least one Dilemma. I think I can't really tell. It's a little difficult from that angle. All I can see is the Spitfire. Can you make it anything else? No, looks like he's just going to go ahead and flip DJ right now.
Classic vinyl.
Yep, slip. Well, so he does have the pink-blue Spitfires.
Oh, maybe just not the full 3. I hadn't seen any in any previous games. Now this is a little tricky.
Variants, yo.
Against a Bluna, or against an Orange Luna, I'm not sure I would have flipped Vinyl on turn 1. Now you're losing more cards from your hand.
Yeah.
I may have just banked or tried to make an Angel Wings play. Debating maybe drawing with Vinyl.
Point drawing. Probably is going to thinking about it.
He may not even flip Luna on his next turn. He may just play the Factory Jack and then save the Bailout that he's got in his hand or the Popping Corn.
Do I separate or do you separate?
Factory Jack.
Or, sorry, not Factory Jack. Farm Former.
Man, you made this deck. You have no excuse.
Man, there are like 5 Applejacks in this deck, okay? It's difficult to keep track of them. This is backgroundpony.deck.
Yes, and none of them are Factory Jack.
Yeah, it's too much of a liability. Trading Traditions is too much of a liability. Oh, there's a Chrono Trigger. That's a card. That is a card. Of course, the really funny thing with Chrono Trigger is, even though you make your choices as
He's
to where
playing the Chrono Trigger.
he's thinking about it. He's going to go ahead and do it.
Interesting. Is he going to go ahead and make the Changeling and banish some cards here too?
I mean, he might do that. He might also just play the Farm Formare and save the Luna play for another turn. If he gets Farm Formare out here, then he can play Bailout on a subsequent turn, and he's not fearing a DFO with his opponent at 2 AT.
Uh-huh.
Especially with the problem at 6. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think you can just go ahead and...
Discard 2.
Yeah, he's going to do that.
Yeah.
Pitches Under Arrest and Xerox. Yeah, those are fine to discard.
It will be orange. is indicated by
So I have to separate myself into 2 piles.
separate into
And
piles.
banishing this. Ooh. Okay. So do we have 2 jerk faces?
Oh, okay. So the
Wow.
very obvious choices there.
Yeah.
Um,
So now likely.
That looks like a food fight.
Oh, there is a food fight.
Oh man.
I thought we saw no food fights.
Yeah.
Oh well.
What's that last card? Is that Spitfire?
Well, we need to get this resolved because that's a deck list error. And that can be pretty serious, especially against a matchup like this where food fight would have actually been more impactful. Ah.
She's looked at the wrong deck list. Okay. So I do like that there is a Spitfire in both piles, but they are completely different Spitfires.
Yeah, I think I'd go ahead and banish the pile with the food fight and the Spitfire, though.
Yeah, I think that's... Oh, he went for the other one.
I mean, maybe he thinks he's going to get an Appaloosa, and so the food fight and the
Getting
Spitfire
rid of
won't
the
matter.
troublemaker, or not the troublemaker, the dilemma is pretty relevant here too.
That's fair. Okay, so there are 2 food fights.
And he just drew a Spitfire, so...
I mean, he did put himself in a position where he's not going to lose any AT from playing Jerkface, so the window for that has... The
Right.
window for that to get a lot of value has kind of gone away, because now he's also lost the surprise of having it in hand.
Well, that being said, Ara's only going to have 2 AT next turn. What's he going to do with it?
Move Luna up and confront.
Fair. Good point. She's got no abilities. She might as well confront.
Trap.
Yep. Reduce cost, I assume.
Play Spitfire.
Oh, okay. Says, I would like to score a point this turn.
And 3 Pegasus tokens.
And I will go to my score base.
Yep.
Alright, score a point. Your
Yep.
turn.
Alright, so Curtis goes to 1.
Draw a card,
On the board. And it's a Chrono Trigger.
everything.
Now, I actually like Chrono Trigger early here, and the main reason that I do this is because you want to be able to banish a Catajack on yourself and have that interplay at the same time as all your opponent's stuff.
Ah.
Especially since the face-down troublemakers would not be retired from Catajack since they're not specifically referenced. A 2 AT here. Could move up to play the Luna. Don't think I actually would.
You don't think you start the face-off here?
I mean, you could. Maybe that's not the worst play. That puts him 5v6, probably with a higher flip. He's already seen a couple of those cards gone. Yeah, it might be okay.
Thinking of playing Mimics.
Mimics is
So
also
playing-
not a bad choice.
Playing Mimics to 6 power is risky.
Yeah, but he's got Popping Core and Bailout.
Well, Popping Core doesn't do much.
No.
Let's P2 and move Luna.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good move.
Score face?
Might as well get on the board.
Emphasis on move. He
Ah.
does lose.
Okay.
Loses by 2.
Well,
So gives. So yeah, the gambit here is now Curtis does get to start the turn with 3 AT.
well, no matter...
They didn't banish cards.
You're right, they didn't
Oh, no,
banish
no, no.
cards. Chrono Trigger just flipped face up this turn.
Did it?
Yes.
Alright.
You're right. Okay.
Oh, here you go.
Now, I will catch that trigger. Don't worry. I'm watching that card very closely.
Your turn. Okay.
Yeah, it's the start of Ara's turn.
Alright, so I'll get 3.
Now, here's the thing. With Aura starting that face-off, there was no situation that was going to result in Curtis not gaining 3 AT on his turn. If Aura won,
Yeah, this
Aura
is true.
did. Yeah. He just wanted that problem going away. And this is actually very good. Look at that problem that flipped face up. He's got a Seeking the Scepter up there.
Right, so Vinyl is fine just chilling at home, though, to be fair. Though Curtis does get in there a lot with Vinyl.
Yes, he does.
Draw another card.
And that's an Angel Wings.
Attached to an adventure, negate the curse effects and discard it.
Angel Wings into Lyrabon. Then what?
Maybe?
Like, that's 5. Still needs 8 more. Oh. Says, I want these points.
And
Well,
then I will,
that is a bold move. But I don't know if that's going to pay off for him. He doesn't know that well, he might know Aura's got the bailout.
Before we draw a card, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. Set them aside and abandon.
Oh, okay. Appaloosa's gone is kind of unfortunate, but he hit a Wildfire and he hit another Lyra and Bonbon. So that's 2 pieces of conga lining gone away. He draws another Popping Corn, I'm pretty sure. Yes, so he's holding on to 2 Popping Corns and a bailout now?
That's what it looks like. And a Mimics.
Let's Clip Wings your Night Glider.
Okay, so if you want to do this face-off, it's going to be 4 versus 6. A lot less appealing now.
Bank 1 and pass turn.
Okay, so I was just going to go ahead and bank the
So
one.
I think he was counting on the hope that he could play the Spitfire to get another 3 power there.
Yeah, that may have been
So it
the
would have
case.
been 9 versus 6.
Yeah, as is, the 4v6 is not great, and Spitfire is not going to be much better than that.
Yeah, that's 7 versus 6, probably lower flips.
Yeah.
That being said, Aura has 0 AT.
No, Aura has 1 AT banked. He leaves his AT on his scorecard. And he
Oh,
mentioned,
that's right.
And he mentioned he was banking 1, so he's got the bailout in hand, and he's prepared to use it
Yeah.
if he needs to.
I think then that Curtis just leaves it alone for this turn.
Now, we
I
know
don't know
that's
if he drew a card for turn. Dream Cavalry, he can give his Pegasi Swift. Oh, wait.
not going to confront. Draw another card.
Did you see what he drew? I didn't.
No, I didn't. I'll have to look. I missed that.
Another jerk face.
So that's the 3rd one, then.
So maybe what you do is you play the jerk face to burn the 1 AT. Yes, looks like that's what he's doing.
Yeah, if you're Aura in that case, I think you just kind of let that happen.
I mean, what else? I mean, you could play the bailout, but I don't think you want that to be a surprise. And moving with Vinyl. So now he says, so that's what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 9, 3 more if he can get the Spitfire.
He's got the Spitfire up there, so he said 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah,
No,
9.
no,
Yeah,
sorry, the Spitfire in his hand.
yeah, the hasty Spitfire.
Yeah.
Yes, so Aura goes up to 3.
3.
Start of turn.
Top 2.
Finishes 2. Ooh,
There's
bailout.
another Appaloosa and a bailout. That's real bad.
That's pretty rough.
Turn.
Ooh, Nightmare
Is that
Moon's-
another bailout he just drew?
No, that's a Nightmare Moon he just drew.
Okay. Mimics. Think that will name resource or event?
Given the 2 Troublemaker setup, I think you name resource here. Yeah, that has not been a good Chrono Trigger for Aura. So
No.
he might be okay seeing that go.
Luna moving up.
Bank 1 and pass.
All right.
Is he banking 1 again?
He is banking 1 again.
Okay.
And this is actually fine, because
I will-
if he can either force his opponent into playing the Spitfire
Right.
and bail out,
Challenge
or he can stop the confront with popping corn.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he is currently up by a lot.
Yes, he is. So R is not even going to bail out here, which is fine.
Right. You just don't even bail out.
You just save the 1 AT, you use it for a popping corn to stop the confront. And then you confront on your turn after playing a Nightmare Moon there, maybe? That seems okay.
Alright.
Yeah. Does lose the clipped wings that way, but oh well. But yeah, that's 2 more points for Curtis.
Let's do this.
So what happens to these? They just hang out there forever?
They're actually banished now.
So let's.
Oh, there was a pink blue Spitfire banished there.
All right.
So
we do need to make sure.
is that actually both of them? No, I think that other one's a Lyra yeah.
Yeah, it's a Lyra Bond, and he's got the other Spitfire in hand.
That's what I would expect.
Yeah.
Losing both those Appaloosas is pretty
Yeah,
rough for
those
Ara here.
will need to definitely be banished because our cat has Changeling Infiltrators. So we need to make sure
They
that...
are. They're in a separate pile next to
Oh,
them.
that is a separate... Oh, I'm not used to the banished pile being larger than the discard pile. My mistake.
Oh.
Well, you can actually order it online.
Resource.
Yeah, resources, definitely the right choice here.
At resource.
Okay. So.
I need to mark that that point gain for Curtis, puts him up to 4.
Yeah, that's why I bought.
Yeah, I think he exhausts final... Oh, he already did. Oh, yeah. So
One
exhaust
carbo-
final, draw.
Yeah, 1 Carbo Loader, 1 Bailout, 2 Appaloosas. The Appaloosas are the worst part of that. The other cards are meh.
I'm doing things the way the.
Losing the bailout's pretty bad, too.
Not against an aggro deck that goes wide instead of going deep.
That's fair.
Not with things that are running token generation like Spitfire. Like, that's not as impactful. Plus, he's got the popping corns in hand. He's got 2 popping corns in hand. The other one's on the bottom of his deck. He just flipped
Yeah.
it.
I took it down with me when I went to. I was keeping it with me because it's like.
So clearly Curtis is ahead on score. Do you think he's currently ahead in the game as well?
Slightly, but I think a good draw from Ara can turn this thing around.
Okay, so he's... Interesting that he's choosing to move the Night Glider instead of the... Oh, right, he's leaving Spitfire for 5. That makes sense.
Is he going to go for the popping corn here?
It's either do it or lose the AT, so...
Okay.
Well, losing the AT might be worth it to save a popping corn for a later DFO situation, but Ara thinks
Right.
he's going to go for it here.
Yeah, we're still in 3.
Yeah, still in
Especially
3.
since he knows he has a popping corn on the bottom of his deck.
Okay, another factory, or another farm foreigner.
Still not Factory Jack.
Could play the Nightmare Moon, but that doesn't feel particularly great.
So anyway, you can end up turning into the villain.
I mean, maybe it's the correct decision, but he does lose that other popping corn.
I think Nightmare Moon is just a losing proposition here. He loses his other popping corn. Vinyl is one of the best mains to deal with Nightmare Moon. I think he would be discarding just about as many cards as Curtis.
Well, so here's the thing, though. He can use the popping corn on this turn, and he can also use the bailout and lose almost nothing. He'd be losing, he'd be discarding 1 card. He'll be able to use the bailout here to shut down anything that he needs. Banking 2, yeah, this is fine. It's going to get him a new hand if he draws into a Catajack, which is really what he's hoping for.
Catajack won't help until Curtis is at 11 points.
Well, Catajack will help as long as Jerkface remains at that problem. And Curtis chooses not to unfrighten.
Good point. Well, if Ara ever has AT banked, he's just going to rally the Jerkface.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Pass priority. Or, sorry,
So let's see. Who is... Curtis is currently up by 1... Wait?
No. No, it's a 5 versus 6 is 11, and 3
Oh,
for
right.
5, 6, 7.
That is 5. Yeah. So now there's another bailout. That's the third bailout.
I'm not going to discard anything because there's nothing to fight.
So now he plays
Is
Spitfire.
not discarding to get rid of the token.
Now you definitely bail out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spitfire is the correct choice to bail out here.
I would have bailed out Vinyl, deny the one card draw.
I don't think the one card draw is worth it quite as much as having Spitfire exhausted for 2
Oh, it
turns.
doesn't matter because of the Nightmare Moon. So yeah, you're right. You're right.
Well, Nightmare Moon's flipping up at the other problem. But yes, you're right. The
Well,
card draw.
no, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the card draw doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll send Spitfire home.
He does need to put those flipped cards up. Ara's pointed them out.
Yeah.
What is this?
Those are your flip
Oh,
cards.
right.
Very tired.
Where is that token? Oh, he frightened the token with the Spitfire. What did he discard for that?
I specifically remember him saying he wasn't discarding.
Where's the token then?
I don't know.
Is it covered up by an arm somewhere? Has he played any other frightening so far? He hasn't played any other frightening. He didn't play a T-Rex Ring of Terror or anything. Judge, can we get a call on where the orange token is?
No, the token friend.
No, it's
What token, friend?
it's been migrating. It's over here.
There we go.
Oh, I didn't even realize you had a friend. Okay. I definitely would've-
Yeah, so he said he would
Actual token.
No,
discard.
that's okay. Just discard.
Yeah, so he's going to discard something to get rid of the token friend.
Die as a token.
It's floating
Um,
around somewhere.
Yeah, because, you know, the friend was completely not on the board, so, like, can't blame Curtis for not thinking there was a friend.
Sure, for sure. However, I would have kept better track of that if I was Aura, simply because if you draw into
Carbo?
if you draw into a carbo loader, you need to have that, and there's 2 farm formares going away here.
A changeling token and a changeling token and a changeling token and a.
Or is pointing out all of his changeling tokens.
I don't see that mattering, but
He's just got them all over that mat.
Yeah. Why couldn't we see
anyway.
them?
So I will go to my score phase. Do I score a point?
No, you do not score a point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bottom
All right. Then it's your turn.
Okay. So Aura has managed to hold him back. Let's see what he draws and discards here.
Because you're not letting me score any points.
Draw a card.
Is that the last Appaloosa? Is that really?
By Appaloosa. I mean, he has Changeling Infiltrator to get back the one Appaloosa. POW. I think you play POW here
Probably.
if you get the opportunity. Ugh, POW into either of those friends is pretty brutal. Oh, right, of course he has the opportunity. Duh.
Yeah, he will definitely choose to play POW here. And now this is actually very interesting as well, because this is forcing Curtis into choosing whether or not he's going to play Food Fight to deal with POW, or whether or not he's going to unfrighten Jerkface. Because he can't do both.
Does he only have... Well,
Yes,
Aura
no.
has 0 AT, so...
Right, no, Aura has 0 AT, but Curtis is only getting 3 on his turn.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't rally Jerkface when Aura has 0 AT. It doesn't do anything.
Before you enter your troublemaker phase.
Yes.
So, like,
So during
either before or after you draw a card,
Yeah.
but before
Resource.
troublemaker.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to use the POW, it sounds like.
You mean the Food Fight?
Yeah, the food fight.
Or immediate things.
He did draw this Rutherford, but Rutherford doesn't do anything to POW, so...
We'll go ahead and Food Fight.
Trade something.
what?
You have to dismiss something or retire something.
No, food fight, not
Oh,
battle
that's a
fight.
food fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my Pegasus survives.
Now has to resolve the discard.
Yeah. So now let's handle the random discard. Can I borrow one of your d6s? Or can we do that? Well, we need. Okay. That's fine. Alright. Rutherford.
Goodbye, Rutherford. Though, to be fair, Rutherford isn't super valuable here.
I mean, Rutherford becomes valuable when all the Appaloosas are gone.
Yeah.
That was just a terrible Chrono Trigger for Aura, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's also, actually, it's pretty valuable just for being hasty, letting him challenge mimics. So is he going to go into the 7 versus 6?
I don't think his flip average is going to be that high. He's already seen a lot of the events go away, and he's holding a trash in his
I
hand.
think you don't. Yeah, I think you just play the trash, pass turn.
Draw a card.
Oh, okay, draw a card.
Sure.
And
Yeah, because he's got 1 AT.
actually, he's fighting.
Yeah, playing the trash is effectively 2 extra power against that. No, he can't play the trash. It costs
right.
4.
Yes, it does. Oh, there's a Xerox now. That's interesting.
All right.
What would you copy here? Nightglider?
Probably to beat up the Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so losing a Nightmare Moon here doesn't matter. But yeah, I would almost certainly play Xerox in order to copy Knight Rider. Oh, actually,
The Burn the World
actually,
strategy did not
no.
work here.
I'd copy Spitfire. The
Oh,
Spitfire
the
that makes,
Frightened Spitfire.
yeah, the Spitfire
Yeah.
that makes tokens.
Oh, there's
Oh.
that Catajack. Now he has 2 AT and 0 playable cards. But next turn he can play the Catajack if Curtis doesn't rally Jerkface. So now he has to think, do I... Okay, he's banking. He's hoping that he can play that Catajack.
I guess we'll see what happens.
I will.
Now, if I was Curtis here, I would 100% rally that
Oh,
Jerkface.
for sure. For sure. But he might also, if he doesn't lose the call in the Dream Cavalry, he might get a little bit of tunnel vision to try to get through
Right.
here.
I'm rolling a die and choosing this card.
I mean, I'm the one that gets to discard at random, right?
No, it's my card. I get to discard something.
I don't like these monkeys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes,
Like,
and I'm discarding this one. I'm taking the die as input to something internal. Discard this one.
They are arguing over the definition of random, I guess.
Yes.
So I mean,
All right, fine, whatever. Do whatever you want.
fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's the wrong one. Unless
He
that was an
fixed
ace.
it, yeah. Okay.
Just make sure it's random.
If he goes for the call in the Dream
4
Cavalry,
AT. Yeah.
well, that's-
What is... Like, Call doesn't do too much here. His
No.
Pegasi already have Swift.
no, I understand that, but will. Yeah, that's true.
Alright,
Pegasi
we'll
having
go
Swift,
to,
that's not a huge impact.
main phase. I'll draw another card.
He's not
Exhaust
challenging.
draw, sure.
Okay, 2 bits.
Not very good when it costs 4.
No, not great.
Pay 2, move Spitfire.
Okay.
Pay 2, rally
Wow.
Jerkface.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep. He had to.
I will pass back to you.
3, draw a card.
No one saw that. No one saw those changeling mix.
Do you Xerox?
You want me to roll?
You're getting picky about it, so I don't care anymore.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You might Xerox pink-blue Spitfire to frighten pink-blue Spitfire.
Choosing access to my random discard doesn't have to be the same as yours.
Okay, good. He discarded the card that no one saw, so, there you go. Problem solved.
I just want to know that
And
it's
I also
actually
don't
random.
have to tell you what my algorithm is. Just that
I
it's
also
taking
get to-
random input.
Well, the point is, I get to. You don't necessarily get to choose. Anyway. Yeah, it's your.
So this is going to be 10 versus 6 if R doesn't do anything.
Hmm.
And the only thing he can do is play Xerox.
I don't know if he sees the play to play Xerox and get the Spitfire tokens into play. That puts him up 9v7 against the Nightmare Moon. No, he does not.
Well, he's just paying 3 to draw. Okay.
Yeah, the tricky thing here is the argument over the Troublemaker random discard has kind of put both players on edge.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We roll 6. You want to roll it?
Not really. I mean,
Thaddeus handily pointing out which card it discarded.
Yep.
So yeah, discarding 2 bits 2 turns in a row feels fine for Curtis.
Challenge here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on 6.
That'll be a 13 to 9. So point to Curtis. So if you had your way, it would be 2 points.
If many people had their way, don't just pin that one on me.
Soft draw. Drawing Rutherford.
Yep.
So with 3 AT, he has the call. I think you play the call here? Oh, no. Fair enough. Okay. That's much better call.
Now, he does have the clipped wings, so you can play clipped wings on jerk phase next turn.
And I'll go to my score phase.
Unfortunately, he has another one in hand.
I don't know if he discarded that earlier.
Oh, you're right. He discarded it to the Nightmare Moon when it uncovered.
Your turn.
There's another Catajack.
Well, that at least keeps Aura protected from losing his only out on this turn alone.
Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Reroll 8. 6, 7.
There goes the clipped wings, though. So I think you do you play Xerox here? Or you just let Curtis get up to 11 so you can play Catajack next turn?
You need to have a board state if you're going to be playing Catajack.
Let's see. He's at 6 right now?
Yeah, he's at 6.
So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd put him to 12. Yeah.
I mean, depends on how many cards he has in hand, right?
What is he copying?
He's copying Spitfire. He sees the play now.
there's a plan here, I swear. Troublemaker. Here you go.
Alright. 3.
I believe it's 4.
It
no,
should be
no. It is just 3.
Ara had 4.
You have no AT?
Hmm.
Yeah, because Curtis had 4 points before beating up the Mimics, then beat up the Mimics up to 5, confront for 6.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, he didn't confront because of Seeking the Scepter. Then,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, he was down by 1. I think Aura may have missed that.
Yeah, Ara did miss that.
But
So,
I'm
no
showing his
Troublemaker.
I'm showing his scorecard still at 5.
Yeah, he is at 5.
Yeah, and Aura still gained 4.
He took back the Troublemaker.
Oh, okay.
There's Angel Wings.
Okay, that's a fine discard.
Alright, then I will challenge here. I've got 8 on 7.
Well, he's not getting through there.
So you're
That's
winning by
13 versus 5, 6, 7, 8. The Rutherford's not going to do it. Or,
No.
well, 11. 13 would tie it. I don't think he wants to risk the Rutherford here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
11 with the flip from belly flop.
Yeah, that's 11.
So Rutherford's only going to tie.
He's doing it.
Rutherford, frighten.
Frighten the Xerox, I guess. Yeah. That is a tie. Nope.
That will lose.
I guess this one.
Now, if you're Aura, I think you go for the face-off here. 6v7 against an aggressive deck, and you're flipping these sorts of cards.
Let's
Plus, you have a friend to just send home.
Right, exactly.
draw a card.
Well, I probably wouldn't even send home the Frightened Friend. I'd probably send home one of the tokens, unfrightened Xerox, and then pay one to move the token back up if I really had to.
And we'll pick
Fair.
and then
Now Aura's going to be at 4, though, and 4 is where some interesting stuff can happen. Plus, beating up a Nightmare Moon, that's a huge power shift.
yeah. Then I will go to my score phase and untap up for one. Now we're at 6.
All right.
It would
now-
also cause
now
a
they're at
single
6.
problem face-off.
Yes, it would.
Card.
Okay, random.
There's
discard.
Nightmare Star. That's not going to help.
Nope, Nightmare
Aside
Star.
from being a troublemaker.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
That's a 1. Okay,
Goodbye.
Chronometer.
Yeah.
I think you challenge here for sure. 6v7, you got to do it.
We'll try Nightmare.
Alright, so
6 on 7.
6 on 7. Okay.
That's a loss.
No,
Deck is
that's both smoozes flipped at inopportune times. Is going to go ahead and send that one back. Interesting choice. Hmm.
Can't be much time left.
And there's some time left.
I think we've got about 10 minutes at most.
That's probably about right. I think if you're Aura, you have to just draw here. You've got to be able to find something. More troublemakers like that aren't exactly helping.
More Carbos that he can't play also aren't helping.
Right. Now, there's a limestone.
There's Limestone. That's a card he can actually play. But not this turn.
No, not this turn.
discard. Go.
She's going to go ahead and discard.
Draw my card for the turn.
7, 8, 9.
There's another
10.
Rutherford.
And we'll see if that gets played here.
Let's go to the
Not much of a reason to.
discard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, roll 6.
I think he still challenges here, though.
He is.
Yeah.
For sure. He's got the other Rutherford there that we can't see that's off screen. So he's
Right,
at
yeah.
2,
So
3,
that's
4, 5,
7, 9 versus... Yeah. And Rutherford did not get discarded, so he can do this 11 versus 7.
Right.
The front there, 9 on 7.
No, I think the... Okay, so...
That's 12 versus 12.
Yeah, 12v12. So it'll force him to play the Rutherford here, and this is actually pretty good, because it's going to make that Catajack huge.
Tokens.
Yeah, the Catajack's going to come down next turn because Curtis is going to go above 11 this turn.
Right.
Probably just about does it. I'll draw a card. Trick face is out.
Still no... Well, he's got the trash, so he might...
Plus the trading traditions is going to go away, so he would have to hold on to a blue friend. Do you hold on to Spitfire? They hold on to the blue Spitfire and draw the card off of the pink blue Spitfire.
Ooh.
my score face.
Now, that's an interesting choice here.
What?
I would not have played that 2 bits. I would have played the trashed on the clipped wings. That modifier was no longer in play.
Yeah.
And he hit a hay bale monster stack. That's pretty good for him. It's going to be easy enough to confront. That's going to be even easier.
Definitely not need frightened Spitfire. I don't
So yeah, pay 5, play cat a jack to locked out, score a point.
For sure.
That doesn't do anything. I do actually want the Night Glider still to eat the clipped wings.
Oh, thinking of retiring the jerk face. Nope, decided not to.
Alright, so I can still keep
I mean, Ara is only at 1.
in that case, I think I want to keep Spitfire. And
Deciding to hold on to the pink-blue Spitfire rather than drawing a card here. I don't think he needs the card, and I think the power is relevant, so I think that's fine. Though, in a moment here, we're going to see that it's not very relevant.
Right, exactly.
what?
Goes far and you've got the 2 bits in play.
Yeah, so I'm good on home.
So getting rid of all of the tokens, holding on to 4 friends with relevant abilities or large power in the case of the blue Spitfire.
No, I have one of my banished pile.
I should say the not pink Spitfire.
Yep. So Ara goes up to 5. I mean, you've got to play the counter jack here. There's just not another play.
Yeah, you don't have much time. You need to score that point. Yeah, I think you just play cat a jack,
Do you have one? Do you have a green cat?
choose your one resource and your one friend.
Now, the tricky thing here is if Curtis chooses to leave the Night Glider in play, he has a trash that's present, and that could get kind of messy. Okay, Ara just concedes it. Yeah,
Oh, okay. There we go.
time,
Yeah.
With time, there wasn't going to be a lot that he'd be able to do. And it sounds like it was a long day for everybody.
I ain't gonna come back.
Right, yeah.
This is too far gone. I can play a Catajack. That's it.
And he has to keep.
So there was a lot of bad luck for Ara there. Just
Yeah, there was. Bad flips on the Chrono Trigger, some bad, both smoozes flipping at inopportune
That's gonna
times.
happen, not in the time that we've got. That's
Yeah, there's about 5 minutes left.
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, in theory, possible to come back from something like that, but was not going to be easy.